Let's be real, getting started can be the most difficult part of any new endeavor. With the endless options out there, planning and most importantly, executing an outbound strategy for your newly founded business can be daunting. That's what we're going to teach you here today. Hey, Derek to Mike here, and let's just say you're in the right place. You're in the right place because if you're trying to grind, build a business online today in this crazy world in 2020, that's exactly what I'm doing right now and have been for the past 4 years with my business partner, David. So if you're new here, welcome, and I invite you to take 2 seconds, hit that like button and subscribe so you stay up to date every time we post a new tutorial or anything related to building an online income. You may have already tried some of the typical online models like drop shipping, e-commerce, affiliates, and have realized that a service-based business in today's world is the fastest way to grow wealth online. And you may be at a point where if you could just make enough money to quit your job, that would be the next big step for you. And we are gonna make this so simple that by the end of this video, you've got 3 actionable steps and a game plan, and most importantly, an execution strategy to start growing your online business and enable you to do things like that, like quit your job, be location independent, whatever you're into. So let's get to the business at hand. You want to get your business rolling, but with the endless options out there online, analysis paralysis is a real thing and can stop you in your tracks before you even get started, unless you start creating and executing a well thought out plan. Now, a big hurdle that most new agencies face is what niche to pick. You don't want to go all in on a niche that ultimately isn't going to work and help make you money, because that's what this is all about. So when first starting out, the best niche to go after is the niche that pays you. How do you find a niche that pays you? Get yourself into the marketplace. Let's figure out how to do that. If you're thinking you really need to think it over and make the perfect niche before you get started into the marketplace, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Do this instead. Pick 2 niches. Number 1, a niche that you actually think is profitable and not oversaturated. Number 2, a niche that you're passionate about or are already a customer of. Just because you pick a niche and go into the marketplace doesn't mean you're married to it forever. David and I, when we first started, were switching up our niches 2 to 4 times per week to see what stuck initially. Anyways, go ahead, just pick 2. One that you think is profitable and one that you actually care about or are a customer of already. I think Steve Jobs said it best. The ones that really make change, that really make a difference and impact, are not only the thinkers, but they're also the doers. They're able to put together a strategy and execute on it. That is the key to this. Pick a plan, pick a niche, and we're gonna execute on it. You're not just gonna think your way into creating an online business that's going to allow you to quit your job. It's going to come to pass through action. The second niche that I'm talking about, where you're already a customer of that niche, puts you at an extreme advantage, especially when you're new to the marketing game. David and I did this as well. We picked niches that we are already customers of. So as we are learning the marketing 101, we were able to say, okay, is this something that I would resonate with? Is this an ad that I would click on? Does this image appeal to me personally because I'm a customer of this niche? Rather than having to have a bunch of experience, you can fall back in what you already know inherently. Now, let's pick an outreach method. You're probably catching on at this point. There's a ton of options out there, and analysis paralysis can weigh you down and have you not doing anything in your business. So we're gonna limit it to 2 options. I want you to pick 2 of these outreach methods for this application today. So calling. This might be something that you're intimidated by, you think is dead, but to be clear, we built the foundation of our business by calling businesses. It's just like a drill. It only works if you use it. Otherwise, it's just a piece of plastic and metal on the shelf. I get that this technique is not for everyone, and that's completely fine, but if you're comfortable with getting on the phone, you're going to get that instant communication and that instant yes or no. And if you're not afraid of some simple rejection, because at the end of the day, It's not gonna kill you. If you fail, if you butcher a call, you just hang up and there's thousands and thousands of other businesses you can call on. This might be a strategy for you. Number 2, LinkedIn. Now I could make 20 plus videos on this topic specifically and actually have on the SMMAblueprint.com, but this is a fantastic place to start. You can search for business owners or C-level players right on the platform for free, right down to the location and industry you're searching for. Now, there's a few things that you should know about before you start making thousands of connections and pitching every person that accepts your connection request. It's a free platform, meaning anyone can use it, meaning everyone is using it, so you have to differentiate yourself. So don't just start connecting with people and sending them value props on your service or product. That's basically what everyone's doing, so you want to go the opposite direction here. An executive at a company that I used to work at actually said it really well when I was reaching out to lawyers: be brilliant, be brief, and be gone. Use those 3 words to really craft your message, because these business owners, these high-level executives, time is a very valuable asset to them and everyone on the planet. So respect their time, be to the point, and be gone. Don't send them an 8-page paragraph. No one's gonna listen to that. Instead, lead with an insight, a question, something that you noticed on their website, a problem that you found. These are going to capture their attention, and always add a call to action. If your message ends in a question, that's fine. You're just looking for a response. But at some point, you need to ask them for time on their calendar, because ultimately, that's what you want to have happen. You want to have a conversation that's going to lead to a sale. And you can't do that unless you ask for the call. So at the end of these messages, provide a CTA and just say, hey, when does 15 minutes look good on your calendar? Or when do you have a 15-minute window that we can connect? Make it very short, simple, give them an option to say yes or no, and then move on to the next prospect. Another thing that you should do is just literally take 5 seconds and actually look at their profile. Nobody's doing that. They're just copying and pasting messages, and you can differentiate yourself by simply mentioning something in their background, a school that they went to that you have some mutual affiliation with. A lot of times people will put an achievement that they've done on their profile, or a successful endeavor that they've had. Just mention it. Say, hey, interesting read of your profile. Was pretty impressed when I heard you grew the company from X to X. I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts on this. Drop an insight, ask a question that's insightful, and then ask for time to talk. Number 3, DMs and social networks. This is similar to LinkedIn, but you're not just limited to one professional network here. One of the first clients that we landed, we actually spotted them on a social board. I think it was like a Facebook group of some sorts, and they said, yeah, I could use help with this. And what did? We looked them up on LinkedIn, we called them, we emailed them, and sure enough, we got a meeting and actually closed a deal for $2,700 a month. We had the mentality of any means necessary to get in front of them, and it worked. Email, here's another one. We landed one of our largest clients in the first few months by leveraging email, just a cold email, going on their website, grabbing the link, sending them a note. I think we sent it on a Saturday actually and got a response on a Sunday. So one of our biggest clients out the gate, we landed with email on a weekend. You can find emails right on their website by going to the contact info, the about page. You can start to understand the organizational structure within their company. And you can even use tools like an email finder, Apollo, Hunter.io. These are all tools that you can scrape emails, get verified emails so they're not going to bounce back. Another way is you can just pay somebody on Upwork $20 to $50, have them pull down a large list in your niche, and then start sending out tailored messages to fit that prospect profile. Or you can just guess their email. A lot of times it's their first name at company if it's a smaller organization. If it's a bit bigger, a lot of times it's first name dot last name at company. So you can just guess. If you're on a budget, you don't have to buy all these fancy tools. Just get out there, get creative, and most importantly, get into the marketplace. That's what's going to make you successful here. Paid ads. Now, I'm putting this last on the list, and I'm not going to go into a ton of detail here, but this is a fantastic way to start having inbound traffic to your page, to your calendar, so you can start having highly qualified conversations. Now, not everyone has the capital to start running ads right away, and that's completely fine. All of these methods that I've listed before this are completely free. This is how we built the foundation of our business, and you can 100% do that too. And you can reinvest into some automated systems like paid ads or a VA. These are all things that we go over in complete detail on the SMMAblueprint.com, but I'm going to leave that for right now just because I know some of you aren't quite to that level yet. But I will warn you, if you are going to run ads, don't make the mistake of making these very general, we work with everybody, we help small businesses type ads. They just don't work. If you try to speak to everyone, you'll be heard by no one. So if you're going to run ads, you're going to run paid traffic, be very specific in exactly who you're talking to. If you're talking to chiropractors, hey, chiropractors, this is what I can do. This is what I've done. The more specific you are, the more people are going to take action on your ads. No one wants to see these super general ads. I've tried to run them before. They do not work. And as soon as I was very hyper focused on who I was talking to, the leads just started popping in. So be specific if you're going to be running ads. With all that said, pick 2 of these methods that I just talked about. Calling, email, LinkedIn, social, DMing, email, any of these combinations, pick 2. Just like we picked 2 niches. 1 that you think is profitable, 2 that you're interested in, and then pick 2 outreach methods: cold call, email, LinkedIn, social networks and DMs, or ads. Just pick 2 of them. So now we've got 2 niches, 2 outreach methods. Let's get to work. So calling, let's keep it simple here. Let's just jump on Google, type in your niche, type in your geo, and now you have a list. Make a list every day before you go to bed of 50 names and numbers that you can contact the very next morning. This is exactly how we started out. We said, hey, you get 50, I get 50. Let's go back-to-back calls and keep calling until one of us has at least 1 to 3 meetings on the books. Some days we hit it out of the park and we were getting 3 meetings a day. Some days we only had 1 or 2, and that's completely fine. But getting out there and grinding, it's there for the taking. So if you're comfortable with making phone calls, by all means, take action and build a simple list on Google. Now, if you're pairing up your outreach strategies for email and cold calling, I would just make the list of the names and numbers, and then while you're dialing the phone, be clicking on the about section, going to the contact form and grabbing the email, literally as the phone's ringing, to not waste any time. So for email, how do we find their emails? Let's go to a website. We're gonna go to the contact section. A lot of times it's just a general email, so you might not find the email there, but sometimes the owner's email is right there on the website. Check that out first. Go to the about page. A lot of times they'll list the organizational structure, what executives are at that company. A lot of times you can find their email there. If not, you can go ahead and copy and paste their name, throw it into LinkedIn, and you can pull their email that way. If you don't want to scrap, you don't want to grind, you don't want to build that list, that's fine. Go on to Upwork.com, put up an ad, and you can simply hire someone for 20 to 50 bucks to scrape an email list just for you in your niche and start executing on your email campaign. The context of your message, it should be simple, it should be brief, it should be insightful. The best response rates are gonna come from you asking yourself this question: how can I help them specifically with their business? If you can answer that in your email, you're dramatically gonna increase your response rates. If you find something wrong with their website, if you look them up on Facebook ads library and you don't see that they're advertising, when you Google their business name, if you see 4 other competitors bidding on their name and they're nowhere to be found, these are all things that you can mention in your message that are gonna increase your response rate. And of course, always ask for time to chat. You're not just giving out free advice and disappearing into the hedge like the Homer Simpson meme. You're out here to make money and have conversations. So LinkedIn, how do we execute here? Let's jump on the computer. See this big search bar right here? Type in owner, CEO, VP, plug in the industry and geo, and then voila, you've literally got thousands of people to reach out to. You can either connect with them directly here, or you can send them an in-mail, use your free credits. If you have an updated profile, you can leverage that in-mail feature as well. Or this could just be the step 1 in your planning process to reach out to them in a different way. This is a very powerful tool, so use it. So paid ads, how to execute on that. Like I said, you want to be very, very specific. And if you want in-depth training, go to the SMMAblueprint.com where you can literally steal our ads, our funnels, our ad copy, and the exact process on how to scale that ad spend profitably. So head on over to the SMMAblueprint.com where you can get in, tap into the most powerful entrepreneurial community on the market today. Check out these crazy wins this week. Orion, my guy, he just closed a $65,000 deal. Orion has been a rock in the community, always answering questions, helping people where he can, and it's so awesome to see him crushing it like this. Austin, big shout out to Austin. He just landed his first client this week, and his problem wasn't the planning and the outreach. It was actually just what to say and how to actually pitch the services when he had the deal, when he had the conversation, when he had the decision maker on the phone. He was having 5 to 10 meetings per week, but he was never able to convert them from, yeah, that sounds interesting, to where do I sign? Here's my check. Who do I make the money out to? Like, he was not having those conversations. We jumped on the phone with him last Thursday and identified some very simple things that he wasn't doing in his pitch and removed some areas that he was putting himself at a disadvantage. And already we just got a DM. He landed his first client, so that is awesome to see. Congratulations, Austin. And last but not least, Cam and Casey. If you haven't seen their interview yet, I think 2 videos back, David interviewed them and it was a fantastic interview to just see how much they've exploded since starting this back in March. So back in March, they actually both got laid off just due to the events. And now they have a highly profitable business that allows them to travel the country, go live off the grid. Cam's chopping wood out in the backyard, seeing all these great places domestically in the United States, which none of that would have been possible if they were stuck in a 9-to-5. So it ended up, that awful thing of losing their job in March turned out to be a blessing, and they're crushing it. Big shout out to Cam and Casey. You can check out that full interview 2 videos back if you're interested. So that's all for this video. You now have a plan, and most importantly, be able to execute that plan. If you just think and don't actually do, you will always be in the position that you're currently in. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or roadblocks that I didn't cover in this video, comment down below. That's what this community is for. We built this channel to help aspiring entrepreneurs just like you, and I understand that not everyone fits into this package, this perfect, here's their problem, here's the solution. So let me know down below specifically what's holding you back. What are the roadblocks? Let's get through them, talk it out in the comments, and get you to a highly profitable online business today. So let's chat. If you found this valuable in any way, resonated with something I said, please take 1 second and hit the like button. It really means a lot to me. It's just that little thumb right there. Just hit it, elbow it, whatever you're into, hit that like button. And if you're making the major mistake of not already being subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're notified every single time we post a video like this. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate you making it this far in the video, and we'll see you in the next one.